but the motor down there is humming. It's that, you know, that motor whine, and so this worm gear's moving. That seems to hang up a little bit, unless it's me, but it's in high now. It seems to be high, that speed, off, and slow. And that's where it gets a little tricky. You almost may not even know that there's a medium speed there. And it seems like there's a medium speed. I'm not going to play with it, but I always use it in the low speed for turning, of course. So let's give this a whirl. The apron, everything works fine on this. Let's go in with the cross speed. You tighten up the knob, she engages, and sometimes it hangs up. It's a little, I don't know, touchy. And that's just what one of our forms, see, so she stops. So sometimes she's a little touchy. And then let's move up to the carriage now and engage it. Don't worry, I'm watching the carriage. So she's engaged. And you can see the knob moving. And let's disengage it. And it's weird because it seems to be more touchy on the cross feed than it is on the carriage feed. So let's go to the half nut. That's your worm gear, right? And so you engage the half nut. You got to find the spot for it, move it a little bit. And there you go. So everything works like a champ. This here I had off. If you looked at the post will show you that I took it all apart. That was filthy dirty under here, just packed. So that's all good to go. So I have the book coming, and the long story short is I'll be able to go through the book and at my pace go through this little by little, and then work on whatever I feel I want to work on. And eventually I'd like to get it restored and repaint it. Let's see. I know there's another thing you can check. I saw that on some post somewhere where you stick the bar in here and you see if, because there's shims in here, to see if your spindle for your chuck is within the scope where it should be. So I have a lot to look at, and I'm really, it could take me several years. I'm not just going to tack this thing. That's ridiculous. But I'm just saying there's a lot to learn. It's going to be a lot of enjoyment. And once again, air guns have come full circle in giving you the enjoyment in your life. Not just shooting, not just buying and selling, and not just working on them, but now, you know, you're into different toolings and stuff, and a reason to have a lathe like this. Because otherwise I probably never would have bought the lathe, really. It was the air guns that got me this far. And I'll tell you what, I got this lathe, I had no place to put it. I bought it sight unseen. My brother-in-law drove the fella home. He was 10 hours away, and then 6 hours away from him where he lives. So the arrangements were, I said to him, when you go to, because I said I'll take it for $500. He did tell me, the guy was here, he did tell me he knows of the lathe. He says it was a Southbend, he knew that much, and he said he knew it was in fairly good condition. So I went by the old fellow's word, and for $500 I just told him, yes, I'll take it. So my brother-in-law went down there later. He had to actually be in that area. It all worked out great. I gave him a trailer bed and some come-alongs and some dolly stuff, and he went down there, and I just said, give me a call back when you see it and let me know. I had no idea, right? So it turns out after he got it, then he gave me the call, and he goes, by the way, you're not going to be able to get this in the basement, I just want to let you know. And I said, by the way, I don't care. So I wound up that summer building a place to put the Southbend lathe, because there was no way I can get this in the basement. Oh, I could have gotten it in, I think, and it would have been a ball buster, but you would have had to have a crane to get it out, and I didn't want to go through that route. Plus, this has a smell to it. It's getting better, but this had a old machine oil wood saturated, or I should say wood oil saturated smell to it, which was strong. And I didn't show you the pans here, but I guess you could see them. Here's some pan. There's the big pan. So I'm really glad and honored that I have this lathe. So anyway, I built this 16 by 16 shed for the lathe that summer. Had to chop the tree down, rent the boom, and go around wires to get the tree down. It was very exciting. Air guns just brings this excitement to you. It's a never-ending pit, isn't it? But who cares if you're enjoying your life with the things you love with your air guns. So anyway, I built this 16 by 16 structure. I want it bigger, and as it turned out, I couldn't get bigger because it was taking too long to get the foundation beams in, and I would have never been able to get the job done by the end of the summer. So, and unfortunately, I went with what I could go, and that was 16 by 16. And I got some stuff up here. Right, got this whole rack from the neighbors across the street for 10 bucks. Anyway, I have some stock, and I got some brass, and I just have a little setup for different things. But I had to give Mr. Tractor, unfortunately, get over here, and this is going to be a 2-film clip. I had to give Mr. Tractor the other half, and I kind of boo-hooed about that, but to be honest with you, it worked out anyway, because in the winter, with this being well insulated, that's all I need to heat this place up. So that's cool. So anyway, that's fine. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my Southbend lathe. I highly recommend anybody getting one to save your money. You find one, it looks like a good deal, maybe you'll get some good tooling with it, because sometimes you do. And hopefully you get one with a tapered attachment, which that thing works great. Let's see what I have here for a taper. Oh, here's something. I made that. I don't know what that was from. This is the scrap bin, by the way. Stuff like this I save just in case down the road I may need something or part that I could cut off of something. But there's your tapered thing. Whatever that was for, I have no idea. And I made that, right? There's a bunch of them down in there. So that's what tapers do. They make tapers. Tapers make tapers. It's still cool to have. Now you can make a taper yourself without a taper attachment, but it's just a mild one, see? Like on this handbrake. So, and I think there's a little taper on that. Anyway, I wouldn't have missed a single day where a day wouldn't have gone by where I would have said I wish I wouldn't have bought it. So here's the thing, and I'm going to wrap this up because I've been talking too much. If you're on the fence about a lathe, right, even if you're going to go out and buy a cheaper one, you know, I understand money's money, but look, you spend the money anyway, right? One way or another, you're going to be spending money. So let's face it, if you're in air guns, one way or another, you're going to be spending money. So let's be realistic. You might as well just take some of your air gun money, save it, stop buying the guns, and buy a better, bigger lathe. They're heavier, right? The old ones are heavier. They're built to last many lifetimes. Let me just show you the other thing here. And the nice thing about this is you could feed it on this particular one. Well, it says 1 3/8, but you're not probably going to be able to get 1 3/8 in there properly and chucked. So I would say you could feed it 1 1/4 properly. So there. Now with Delrin guides and stuff, I don't think I'd need to go over 1 1/8 for any air rifle. But what about when you have a that's the thing that I don't like, when you have a barrel. And I have one somewhere down in here, this old beat up Hatson barrel. You can't, there's not enough room to stick a barrel and your barrel block in there. It's so close and it won't make it. So I wish that they would have designed them a little bit bigger, but they didn't. So in that respect, if that was a little bit bigger, I would have made that. But anyway, so you can't get a barrel and a barrel block in there, so you have to do it a different way whenever you're doing something with your barrel. But that's the one other thing you need to watch, is because if you're going to buy the lathe, is how much you can feed it. That's a pain if you get to a point where, geez, damn, you can't get what you want to get in there when you're working on something. So anyway, that's my lathe. I hope you like it. It's definitely cool. I'll get the motor squared away, and then after that, the apron comes apart easy enough, and I'm not worried about that. I believe that just leaves whatever's going on in here, and these gears are all visible once you take the cover off. There's 3 bolts, so the hard part would be the quick change gearbox, whatever. I didn't get those cleaned. And then whatever's going on with this, they got bearings, I think, somewhere down, I don't know, there's stuff going on. So as I learn, I'll go and I'll take it further, and hopefully I can get it totally rebuilt and then repaint it. So that would be really nice. I don't think you can do anything for the cabinet. Just leave it there and it shows its age. And I don't think I'm going to change the tags, because the tags are original, especially stuff like that. That is just so cool. Property of the United States Air Force. And I have the little key up here because it's out of the way. I don't like putting nothing down here. And I got my oiler cup via a 3-inch PVC hanger, pipe hanger. And I like it there because I can see how much oil's in the cup, and I just go from here to there. So that's what I like for me. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this. That's my lathe. Take care.